All right. Good morning once again. So, so far so good. We have dealt with the basic aspects of VBA. At this point, I assume that you know what is called sub procedures. Know what is called function. We know at least basic conditional statements in VBA, which was treated under control structure. Like I told us that VBA is very wide. What a trainer can do is to focus more on understanding the basic. Then, of course, you can develop yourself with the help of the AI tools out there if you want to study it beyond where I stop on that basic. We are going to start with modeling data in this section. Modeling data in VBA sometimes is very complex. So depending on your target, depending on the kind of automation you want to achieve, that will determine whether you are going to write a few code or you are going to write a bunch of codes. We are going to start by modeling or creating a model that will help us to capture users' data and populate them in the Excel sheets. So that is where we are starting from. So at this point, I will just be taking some random projects and then before we end the training. So the project can be, like I said, they are going to be random projects. So like the one I want to start in this section is a project. This project will be strategically selected because they all have things that are wrapped in them that will help us to navigate better. So we are looking at how to create, let's say, employees dynamic form using VBA. So what do we mean by employees dynamic form? So this is simply looking at the word there, employees. We're talking about developing a model for an organization that they can always use to impute their employees' data into the Excel worksheets. But that is not to say that the logic we are going to learn in trying to build this model are restricted to only building this kind of data set. You can as well use it for business. This model can be used for business. The only thing is that the field names will now be different, and the way you are going to create your VBA function or sub procedures will be different. But the concept can actually be expanded beyond this particular topic. So it's not just that I'm just using this as a focus. So it's not a model or the skill set that are strictly just for this type of data model. So I say dynamic. Why I say dynamic is that so we have a sheet like this, and we want to create a form. We don't want the user to directly impute the value. So we will just create a kind of placeholder. We will just create the description of the database, and then they will be making the entry using the VBA form. It's just like a website. So you are going to see It's going to react like those forms that you fill when you visit a website. We all know that those forms that you fill when you visit a website, they are used to dump record in a database. So which means that Excel is going to be the database while the records are coming from VBA form. So once you fill those VBA inputs, then the content will be deposited right in the Excel sheet. So that is the communication or the algorithm or the flow charts of what we want to achieve. And that will expose us, like I said, to so many techniques, such that though this one, I'll be going manual with this one, so that we can see the full application of those things we have learned. But subsequently, we can just, okay, understand what we want, and then we just go to ChatGPT and then write a prompt, because that is another set of skills that every IT professional must have now. You must know how to use ChatGPT prompt once you have the domain expertise, particularly if you are in service, right? But for training like this, we go manual for some time because we need to understand the rudiments. So now, like I said, all this is to give us a picture of the kind of form we want to design, and we will not complete the form in this section. Probably we will start it and finish it in the next class so that I do not rush it. Now, what are the steps involved? Your first step is for you to open a Excel blank sheet like this. And then you name that sheet worksheet before you start. Name it worksheet. So it is not as if that if we leave it as sheet one, we cannot work with it, but we just want to make our work faster. And when we are writing our VBA function, it will be easier for us to reference the sheet name instead of just what the default name sheet. So once you have done this, of course, if, for example, because this is just like the concluding part of what we have started. So in the process, there are a few things that I will chip in that will serve as revision. So, for example, for you to go to the VBA environment, if the developer tool is not here, that will allow you to click on macro basic to have access to the VBA development environment, you can go to file, the part of the beginning stuff we did. You go to file, then go to options. So from option, you go to customize ribbon. So once you click on customize ribbon, this is how you are going to make it, rather. It's going to be unchecked. You can see that that particular tab has gone. So if you open Excel and you discover that you can't find that developer tool, which will give us access to the VBA environment, we have to go through file, select option, then click on customize ribbon, and then all you need is just to look for this option and turn it on, and then click, and that will give you access to the VBA development. Remember, we said VBA is an Excel, or is a programming language which is used to build all the functions we have in Excel, right? So we can customize from what we have done before now. I believe I don't need to say much on that. So once you have access to this, and then you click on developer tool, and then you click on macro. So that is going to automatically prompt you from Excel interface or sheet interface to the VBA. So this is the programming interface of Excel, which we are using a Visual Basic application, which is called the VBA. Now, another option, if you don't want to go through this, is for you to press Alt in your keyboard and F11. That can as well allow you to switch from the Excel interface to the VBA. you just simply hold down the Alt button and then you press the F11. So now, before you start anything, so if I want to switch from here back, the same Alt 11, so that is how you switch, either from Excel to VBA or from VBA or from macro back to what? To Excel, right? So now, before you start anything, once you have an Excel sheet where you intend to program on using the VBA, that particular sheet must be saved as Excel macro enabled. So which means that I have to quickly go to File, then select Save As, and then choose where I want to save it. So let me save it in Document, and then I have to change it from this. So let me just give it a name. Let's say the name is Form underscore Design. And then the saving format should change from Excel workbook to what? Excel macro enabled workbook, and then you click save. These are part of the things you have to start with so that you won't start having error when you start test running your code. I hope, just to get a response from one of you, I hope I am communicating. Let me get a response. We are following.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now, once you have done that, like I said, we should be taking note of our steps so that in case you want to do something before the video gets to you. Once you have saved as macro enable, the next step is for you to save the name of the workbook, which I told us as workbook. Then we are going to start by creating fields. We are going to start by creating fields here. And I am starting the field from row 6. From row 6. So the idea is that we are going to have, a button here that will show form, because the users that are going to use this form to collect data and dump the data here, they do not know how to go to the VBA. So what they are going to do, or what we should do as professionals, is to create a button for them that they will always use to call out the form, to fill it, and after making the entry, then the form can disappear, right? So I'm going to go to Insert, I will use the text box as the word art text graphics, part of what we have learned. And then, or let me go this way. Let me not use this direct. Let me use a shape because it's a button. So I go to Insert, select Illustration, go to Shape, and then let's say I'm choosing this and I am placing it here. So I will type the label as what? Show form. So that is what I am going to achieve with this. Then click on this, and then of course you go back to your formatting, centralize it. You can move it to the center, hold it, increase it. Then if you like, you give it a color of your choice. So I'll leave this one here. Then I'll create, so this is going to be the database, right, that the form will be submitting the record into. So I'll go to row 6. Let me reduce it a little. So I'll go to row 6. You can start from row 5, but I just want to start from here. So the first thing I'm going to do here is to create the fields. To create the field, what we are saying is that we want a form at the end of the day. We are going to use VBA to create a form that will be submitting input and will provide boxes which are called input. So maybe this one is going to be the employee's ID, just to give us a picture of what we are looking at. Employee's ID, this is going to be employee's ID. So I'll create another one again. So this is label, while this is a box. So maybe this one is employee's name, and then depending on the inputs we want to collect. So that is what I want to develop here. So which means that when the users enter, when somebody fill that employee ID, it will bring it and store it under the field that I will have created. So I will start with this one, say what? Employees ID, employees ID, employee ID, employees ID. Let me merge them together. Employees ID. So the next field is employees name. So depending on the data set you are creating, I can have employees name. I want to merge them together. The next one is employees gender. I will just say gender. The next one is, let's say I want to get their address as well. Next one, I want to get their contact. The next one, I want to get probably their email. So all these are subjected to what you want. So I want to get their department. So this is a kind of employee database department. And then, of course, their salary. I'd like to have an idea of how much they are collecting. So I'll format this as usual. Format the height. You can format the height and align the header. So let me format the height from formatting the height from here. Come to format, select the row height. So let me just give it 30. Right there, I will centralize the value by clicking here. And then the column also, I want to adjust the width of the column. So I go to the home again, go to format, select column width. So let me place the column width at, let me start by trying 12 and see what I have. Okay, some of them are still wrapping. So let me go back and increase it to like 14. Okay, so I would like the header to have unique format. I can just come here and just probably, let me use this color and then bold. Then I think I need to also give, see, and then change the text color. So it depends on your design. All these are optional. So I'll carry the button. I want to put it at the middle. Okay. So with this, I'm done designing the body of my, field, or sorry, the database. All right. So which means that the form, once the user enter employee ID, it will come and drop it here. Employee's name, it will drop it here. Gender, drop it here. So the form will submit all the values under each of these headers. So now that we have completed this, so we are going to go to the developer. We open the VBA. We open the VBA. So we are going to activate let's say button. Let me see. Let's say button. Okay, so the next thing is for us to go to the VBA environment and start creating the form that will be submitting the value into this place. So how do we go there? Remember, I told us once you add your developer tool, if it's not activated, you activate it. Then you click on macro, and that brings you here. All right. So from here, we are going to insert and select what? User form. And then you expand it, select user form, you expand it. So this is we just want to start by creating the user interface of the application before we now write our functions with the VBA. So just like a website, that is where we got this front end from. The form is always at the front of the website. Then the user log into your website, fill the form, and the information are submitted to the database. So in our own case, the Excel is the database, while this form is like the user's end. So you need to make sure that you give users good experience. You need to make sure that the form is designed, coloring and everything. It should look very attractive. So this is the form we have created. So the next thing is for us to create an image. You will notice that the moment the form is active, this particular toolbox will always be there. So all the tools we are going to use to build the user interface of the form are within here. So from here, you click on this one that says image. That is the first thing we are going to select. So now, once you select the image, you create frame. So that image is going to help us to create frame. So you select it, you create the first frame. So as we continue, you get to know what we are going to do with this frame. So remember, I hope you are taking note of your step at this junction. You click on the image and draw a box, which is this. That is after you have inserted the user form. So the next tool is for us to, let me see if I can open it down to this. Sorry, I'm coming. Let me pick something. I'm coming. All right, so like I was explaining, so once you have created your form and you have expanded the form, the next thing is for you to select your label tool, this particular one here. You click on it, and then you write what we are writing here. Once you draw a box for the label, when I was creating the form, there was a place where I labeled employee's name before I opened the text box. But in this case, we just want to give the form a description in order to title the form, which is employees detail dynamic form. So we want to write it at the top. So once you click on this label tool and you draw, you don't edit it here. You come to the properties that came with it. So the color, all these are properties that can be used to modify this particular object. So I'm going to the aspect that says capture. You can see it here, this capture. That is the label 1 you are seeing here. So you go there, click inside that place, delete it, and then you type employees, whatever title you want to give. So let me find that. Okay. So employees, or employee detail, employee detail dynamic form. So once you are done typing, you click. Once you click, you see that to reflect here. So the next thing is for you to start resizing it, positioning it, giving it color and the rest. And all of that will still be done here. So we have border color. So the first thing is the size. The size. That is the first thing I want to work on, the size. All right. So the current, let's look for where you have the size. We have test alignment. Let me take that one that I've seen first. Test alignment. We have different preset alignments. You click here, you select this. You can see that one takes it to the center. You know, we have left, we have right, we have center. So all these have been pre-designed that you can pick. So let me take this off. We are looking at a font size. Font size. Just have to look for it here. This is where you can change handwriting. This is height. If you don't have that, you can use this to, let me use this. Okay, that is not what was there is 54. Okay, that is controlling the frame. So what we want to adjust is the font size. So let's look for it. It must be there. We have auto size. Just take your time. There should be size left, top. There's a line. Left, height, font color. Capture. I'm supposed to be saying the font size. Let me see. Okay, so you click on this font here, and that will open a dialog box where you can explore so many attributes relating to the font. So you can bold here, you can increase the size here. So let's take note that we have to explore it from font. So let's say I want to give the hope this is not going to be too big. Let me try this first and then click OK. It's too big. So I'll go back there again, explore it, reduce the size to like 20, click OK. Then the alignment, I want to bring it to the center. Let's see. You should be able to see it here also. A back color. We don't want to change color. Okay. This is what is for background color. We are going for size. We have anything like that here. Sorry, the alignment. Okay, let me explore this font, whether we have it there. No, it's not here. The option is not here. So except we use top, this is text align. This text align, the one we have here, let me check this. No, all these ones are for horizontal alignment, and so we want vertical alignment. So we have to control it with maybe top. Let me just change the value of this top and see if it's going to move. Let's say we want to, it was there. Okay, so it moved, but it is the text that we want to work on, not the entire frame. Text control. So any feature you need, you should be able to work with it here. Let me just leave this one first to avoid wasting time. I'll take time to find out. So once you have entered the form name like this, the next thing is for us to create keyframe. So that keyframe is to segment your form. That is for different activities. So we'll have a session where they will fill it, and they will have a session where we can see the value before they even go to Excel sheet. So that is what is going to lead to this particular function, this button. So I'm going to click on this. So the first section, let's say I want to establish it here. Then the next section, let me take this up. So I can click here to still take this one down. I need more space. So I'm going back to the keyframe again, and then I want where the values will be showing to be under it. So this is just like you sectioning the form. Some activities will be here, some will be here. All the fields will be here. Then I'll be able to select the values from here. So that is the essence of that keyframe. So once you have entered the keyframe, is for you to start creating labels. For you to start creating label. So, and for you to create the label.
Sorry, excuse me. Excuse me. Uh, can you take the I didn't quite get?
Sorry, you are muted. I didn't get you before you muted back. Can you come again?
Can you go through the frame,
Okay. So let me delete it. You can just select it and click on. Now, the frame is to section your form. That is, you want different activities. The top parts of the form, we capture the user's input. The second part, we capture the data itself, the list of data. So that is why I'm selecting the frame. Look at it here, the key here. That is the button. You click, and then you'll be the one to determine the amount of space you want to use for the top section. And then you also go back, then create another section at the bottom here. So we just want it to be like this. I can take it up a little. I hope that is clear now, sir. That is how I created the frame. Is that clear now?
Yes.
Okay. So once you have created the frame, because this is a form, the form has label. Labels are information you attach to the input to guide the users on the kind of data they are to provide. For example, what I want to create inside this, all those labels that we mentioned in the Excel. So we are going to say, okay, employee ID. Employee ID is the first label, and then we are going to give it a box. So this is the kind of thing we want to create here. All those headers that are in Excel, we are going to capture all of them here. So this is the label, why this is the input. So just for you to understand it first. So now that we understand that, we are going to use our label tool, to create the label first, and then I'll create it like this, maybe short one. And then remember, the moment you create it, it will pop up your properties for editing it. And then you go to the capture. The capture is what we are focusing on. You come to the capture. This one is for employees ID according to the way they are in your Excel. So you must have listed them out. Right? So and I'm going to be naming it in a way that it will be easier for us to code, because whatever name you are giving to this, that name will be used when you start writing your VBA code. So you need to be mindful of the name you are using. I hope we are following. Let me get a response.
Yes.
Okay. So I'm naming this one employees ID. I mean, case. Okay. Employee ID. Type it. Employees ID. So that is the name of that label. Then we can also set the color from the font color here. So let me see which color.
Sorry, sir. Sorry, excuse me.
Yeah.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, I'm with you. Go ahead, sir. I hear
Okay,
you.
you didn't write the. Is there any crime when you write it in full?
No, no,
Employee
no, no, no,
ID.
no, 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 no. There's no crime because it's just a label, it's just a way of identifying that particular field. There's no crime. The one that choose to abbreviate it, you can write it in full. Just that I want to have more input. I'm looking at the number of input we have here. This one that we created here, for me to be able to have all of them in that place. That's why I'm reducing so that the input box will not be too long. Okay, so I was working on the color. I want to change the color. You just play around all these features. Under your color, you have system color. Under system color, you can pick a color here. But if you drop this and you don't want to use system color, you can just click on palette. So palette will give you option to different colors. So let's say I want to use this color, and then you can also set so that in again I want to achieve here. Text align. We've used that before. That's okay. No, let's leave it. Not I'll end up creating an excess space. Now, the next thing I'm going to do here, the height of this, I want to reduce it. It's too big. I have height here, so, and I will make sure that the label height should be uniform. You don't give one height 20 and go and give other one different height. So here I can reduce it here because I'm looking for space. So once you have created this, then we need to give it a box. This one is just to label it. We need to give it a box. That box is where we expect the users to enter the information. So this one, we are going to click on text box, not label. I told us that all the tools are here. So you see, this is the one we use for label. This is text box. So you click on it and trying to make sure that it's of the same height with that one. And then this particular one, you are going to also name it. You are going to name it when we start the proper programming, or you can name it alongside as you are doing it. So I'll click here. Remember, we have the name section, and then we have the capture. So here, sorry, we have the name. So you delete this one here and abbreviate it to. There is no also crime of doing this, but just that you follow the standard. TS, want it to be in lowercase. TS, which means test, and then ID. Most time, VBA prefer working with camel case. If you remember, camel case, that is the first word starting with capital letter. Most time, VBA is more comfortable with that. So you click outside. So I've named that one. Remember that the height of this one, I want to see if it will align with the height of this, so which is not aligning. So I need to change the height to 20. So I want everything to be properly formatted. Okay, so the height is equivalent to this now. Okay, so now Once you have created this, you now copy these two. You can copy them and use them to create others. So I will take the ones that I want to align vertically first. So I'll click on this, hold down the shift button, select the other one. Sorry, I also discovered that you're not on the same alignment. So click on it. Then you can right click and copy, right click and paste. So you take it, put it here. So I want 4 in this particular column. I want 4 of them. So make sure that you are gauging the alignment. What did I do now? Okay, I delete instead of pasting. One, two, three, 4. So I will now go and edit what I copy so that I don't have to start changing the height, changing just the label and the name I will change. So I'll select this one and change the capture to the next
Sorry,
one
sorry,
according
sir.
to, okay.
Sorry, excuse me. Um, how did you achieve copying both of them at once? The employee and the test boss.
So what I did is I held down the shift button and select each of them first.
Okay, okay,
Before I right click. So
okay,
now I'll just change the label and the name. I'm changing label here. I'm changing the capture here. I'm changing capture here. I'm changing name here. Changing capture here. I'm changing name. So I'll come here. The current capture is like I deleted it now. Is employee's name. Employee's name. Employee's name. So let me also abbreviate to use cap lock throughout. Employee's name. So that is for that one. Then the name, click on the input, and then the name of this input is TST. Then name. Like I said, we are using camel case, TST name. Now the next one is for the gender. Remember that you are following the order here. You are following the order. So the next one is for the gender. So click on it, target the capture. So for the gender, I will just say, since it's just a single word, I'll just write it, gender. Gender, to use cap lock or true. ODG was typed. Now, the name, click on the input, then the name, also modify the name. So the name will be TST. So the name for the gender I'm using, you can use any notation actually, but I'm using this, not a capital letter, CMB. So I'm using for gender, CMB. CMB. It can be whatever you use here is what you are going to call any name you want to use. Why I am putting this CMB for this one is that I am going to use this too. Let me finish typing. I'll show you why I'm using this CMB so to align. Then camel case, gender like this. Now, the reason why I'm using it because I'm going to create a drop down. I'm not going to allow them to type this very one. So there will be a drop down that they will click and then they will see either male or female. That is the reason why I'm using this. So where did I got that CMP from? It's because of the tool that I'm going to use. Look at this here, CoboBoss. So that is what I'm going to use to create the drop down. So that is just to tell me that, oh, that particular field, there will be drop down. I think Mr. Joseph wanted to ask a question.
No. Go ahead.
So now the next one is from that order, the next one is address. So I click here, the capture. Remember, when you are dealing with the label, you are not concerned with the name. When you are dealing with the label, you are not concerned with the name, so that you don't go and change here. It's only when you are dealing with the input that you talk about name. These ones are not going to be processed. They are just indicators. So it's capture that you follow. You don't name them. So the capture for this one is going to be address. Address, going to be address. Then the name. Here I'm not creating a drop down. I'm not creating a drop down, so it will simply be TST address. So come here, file it. TST. Remember, we are following kernel case. Address. So I'm done with this set. So I need to copy another row here, another column here. So I'll select all of them. Remember the same question that you asked. So I've selected the first item and I'm holding down the shift button, selecting the rest. You can see that once I even click here, it's selecting. So now I will now copy, and then paste. Then, so I can still increase, I think only 2 row or column should be enough. So if I have another one, okay, let me leave it like this. So even if you want to increase, you can increase it so that the whole space can be filled up. So I'll continue my editing here. I'll select this one. I think I've edited. Start from the label here. Capture. So this one is for contacts. Contact. This is for contact. Then the name for contact. Contact, I'm not creating a drop down, so it will simply be a TSP. So let me see if I can rectify my light. All right, I hope we are still here. So now I think I was about naming this. Okay, so I'm naming this TST contact. Remember that the first letter of the next word is capital letter. So the next label is the email. Capture. Email. The email, I'm not also creating a drop down. So the name is going to be TST email. Then the next one is department. So department, I'm going to give them drop down. I'm going to list all the departments. So departments, let me start with the label. Then the name for department is TST. Sorry. The name for department is going to be that word, Kobo Boss. That's what I'm representing with CMB. CMB. Then followed by department. Followed by department, and then the salary. Okay, yeah, this should be for salary. We capture salary. Salary, then the salary, we are not creating a drop down, so we have to type it direct. So the name will be TST salary, the first letter. All right, so now we are done with this. Any question first? Any question? Any question? Are we following?
Hello, sir.
Yes, ma.
I'm following, but where I'm getting confused is this employee details dynamic form. So
Okay,
where
here,
you
right?
get to, I'm not around where you teach that place.
This one.
It's the same
Okay.
as the same method as this other one, frame one, have you?
No, let me delete it and do it again. So let's say I want to write it now. I said for that very one, you click on label, this one here, and then you open it up, maybe due to the size of the text you want to type, and then you now come to where you have a capture. So what was here now? Employees, I don't know if it's still in cap lock. Okay. So we have employee details dynamic form. Once you click outside, you have it here. After that, we now click on the color. Let's say we want to change the color. Where I said if you want to use system color, you can come there and use them. So let me use what color was there now. We'll have to stay on that black. Let's stay on the black. Then after that, we talk about the height of this whole frame, but that shouldn't bother us. The alignment, here is the alignment. Picture is here just for you to take your time to play with them. We're looking for text align. Here is it. Text align. To click and then select the center. I want to take it to the center. Then font size. Font size, we got it from fonts here. Click here and then select this three dots to open up in box like this. So choose the size, let's say 20. Then you choose, maybe you want to add bold, and then you click OK. I hope it's clear now. This is what we did.
Sorry, sir.
Okay, sir.
Sorry, sir. Yeah, sorry. Can you the character, the way you change the color, can you go through that again?
Okay, so
Is employee ID.
Okay, here. Okay, so you click on the label.
Yes.
And so you click on the label,
Okay.
then you see it here.
Yeah.
For color. Then you have a drop down.
For color.
Yes, sorry. Yes, it's for color. Yes.
Sorry. Let me for
Okay.
color. Let me look for it. Okay, I've seen it. Okay.
All right. So, madam, hope you are also good. I want to make sure that we understand it too. Or let me just complete this form and then I'll give us some time before I come back. Now, remember that when we were naming this and this, we did say that we are going to use drop down. They are not supposed to type inside. So which means that we are going to delete this one. I just wanted everything to complete first. I'm going to remove this one. I'm going to delete it. We are also going to delete this because we used the wrong input. I wanted the space to be there. Now we cannot go for the one I want to use, which is this for the drop down. So if I click here now and I draw it, you see that the appearance will be different. You see, it gives you the drop down. Then you now click on it and then come here and put that what did we use that as? Somebody should remind me. CMB what? CMB
Gender.
Gender, CMB
Yes.
gender. Now the same thing, you go back again, click on this Kobo box, then fill it here. So anywhere you will have a drop down list in whatever you are creating. You use that button. Now I'll click again. I think this one was CMB what? CMB department. Did I write the department in full size? Somebody should help to check. Department. I think it was full. CMB department. All right. So I'm giving us 5 to 10 minutes to get to this place. So when I come back, I'm going to check whether you have created your form to this before we proceed to the next phase of it. So I just wanted also to actually have 3 phases. So I want us to finish the first and the second phase today, so that the next class we just do the last phase. The last phase is where we will write those codes.
Let's continue. I think I don't know about Madam. I think I am up to date with you.
Okay.
I'm good. I'm good.
Okay. All right. So the next thing is now we are going to be adding buttons. We are going to be adding button. For example, if somebody fill a record here, fill another one here, pick here, we have a button that says save. So once they click on that save, that is when the record will automatically be transported here. So once they fill and click on save, the record comes here. They click and then somebody can call back a record and make some changes and update. So there should be an updating button also that they can click it to update. Somebody can say, okay, this staff has left the company. We want him to be deleted from the database. So we also add a button for deleting. So the next part now, which is going to be the last part for this session to complete this, is to create buttons. So to create your buttons, so we are going to click on command button. Everything you need are here. So you look for the button that says command button, because you are going to be commanding, a particular task. So if you hover here, you see this is label, this is what text box, this is what Kobo, this is what list box, this is checkbox. All these, depending on the kind of form you are creating, you will use them. For example, now if I want to create option, let's say somebody to choose educational, maybe gender, and I can decide to say not a drop down, that they should use a radio button. You use this. So let me come here, frame, command button. So this is what you need to create actual button. So I'll click on this and then I'll come here and then add it somewhere here. I think I have about, how many of them? I have about 5 of them. So I'm trying to economize the space so that they will all line up here. So once you click on it, then you also change the capture. You change the capture, not the name. Yes, we take note, not here. Is the capture that we are changing, because these are buttons. So go to Do we have the capture? Yes, you have the capture here. Please make sure you take note of this so I don't make mistake trying to change the name. It's the capture. So the capture, I am saving it. I'm creating it as save. Right? So you can also format. You come here for the color. I'll choose. Let me pick from here. Which color should I choose? I'll choose this. Then the size. The size. Let me take the height to 20. Then show that in again. The background color, I would like this one background color to be different from do your design. Then looking at a different okay, so it comes with border. I think there's a place border color, border color. I want to see whether I can control it. Any place, I think I saw border style. Border style. Okay. So I'll click here to say we don't want border, but because we are adding that color, let's choose the one that will give us that one. So you can now copy this one just like we were doing the other time. Copy this and then also what? Paste. So you now arrange them. Copy again. I think just pasting. Before I start. Pasting. Nice. Just stay for now. Okay, so I'll click on this. The next button is reset button. Reset is the button that if somebody tried to fill this form and maybe he or she has filled to an extent, want to clear everything and start afresh, there's a button that you will click and then everything will be wiped off. So I'll select it and then go to capture and then edit it to reset. Edit it to reset. Got that off my cap lock. Okay. Set. Then just to form a design, I would like the background color of this to change. And then I can just put this, just a kind of forming, just to make them to stand out from each other. So the next one is exit. That is if I want to leave here now after filling the form, be able to exit. So go to the label, the capture as well. Exit. Right, so I can leave this one to maintain this color. So I know I'm still going to, I still have search, I still have update and delete. So let me copy and paste. So this one, I will name it, what button? Search. I'll name it search. So we use it to search for a record and call it out. Then I'll change the color to background color to balance. Just want to use these two sets of colors. So the next one is update. The next one is update before delete. So let me see if I can put this one here. this space. I shouldn't I reduce the width so I have space. Bring this one closer. So search, I think I've labeled this. Let me copy and also paste. So this one is updates. Then, of course, the next one is delete. Next one is delete. Delete. All right, so now let me see if I can distribute them. So you only label them, you have to start naming them. You have to start naming them as well, because it is that name that we are going to use to write the VBA function to carry out their tasks. So I'll click on this, then I'll go to the name. So for the save, I'm going to use, or should I use for the save? I'm going to use command. I'm abbreviating. Remember the function, the tool we use is command button. So as a CMD, sorry, not CMB. The other one is CMD, then save. Remember the camel case. So I've named that one. The next one is reset. I'll name it also. I'll name this one also CMD reset. CMD reset. Remember the camel case. Make sure you are pressing Ctrl S. So then the next one is that is S6, so it will be CMD exit. Then the next one will be that is CMD research, or search rather. So CMD, sorry, CMD search. Okay. The next one is going to be CMD update. The next one is delete. CMD delete. Right. Now make sure you save. Now you know that this set, we need to give them a box that they will type whatever they want to search. So in between them, you add a text box. It just shows us we're trying to reduce this. So it's after they type whatever they want to search, then we click on this, the action will be triggered. So I'll go to text box, or add a text box there. And then the text box, you need to name it TST, maybe 1. Click here from the capture. Let's give it this name direct. TST1 search. Give it any. All right. So the right here, then click on search. Okay, so that is the end of the first phase. So at this point, the user form is completed. Now, the next phase is where we will start writing the code for these actions.
Sorry,
Okay,
excuse me. Sorry, excuse me.
Yes, sir.
Would there not be boss for update?
No, for update, no,
Hello?
there won't be bugs. The update is that, let's say you search. Let's say you search here. Maybe you call back an employee's. Maybe you search for the ID and then calls back that person detail. Maybe you make mistake in entry wrong name. After correcting it, you will just click on update. So it's not for new entries, sir. I hope that is clear.
Yes, sorry. The name. What's the name for this one? The search.
Okay. This one, right? Is it this one?
Yes.
This one or this one?
No, the
This
last one, the test boss, yeah.
here. Yes,
Yeah.
use TST1 search.
Okay.
I'll just give you something different. All these namings are not constant to, as in all these ones. You can change them. Just that why I'm following this format now because of the coding aspect. Because of the coding aspect. So whatever name you use, it means you reference it in the coding section. So that will be the next section. The next section is where we start writing VBA code. Then you now see all those procedures that we have learned playing out. But this session is just for us to create the form interface. Any question?
Hello, sir.
Okay, ma.
After search, the next box is empty, no name on it.
No. It's just like when you want to search something on Google now, they will give you a
Okay,
space
the
where you
space
type,
for it will
where you
appear,
type,
the search will appear there.
yes, then you now trigger it by clicking on this button. So these two, they are together because this one is what you are using to collect the person's information, what the person wants to search for. Then this one is what you click to action it. I hope it's clear, ma.
Yes, sir.
All right. So before we close, I want you to share your screen. Let me see what you have done there. Let me stop sharing. Let me see your screen for me to be sure that we have actually gotten to where I am. Because the next class we just
No,
go
I
to
will
the
do my
code.
own letter. I'm not following.
Okay. I thought we were doing something we were having issue before. Okay, stop somewhere. Mr. Joseph, you show us your own. Let's see. I don't think maybe Mr. Joseph. Mr. Joseph, are you still here? You show us your screen. Let's see. Okay, good. Okay. All right. All right, so have a nice, at this point, you can call it.